So, sort of bring us together. It's good news. The good news is the workforce seem better prepared and more confident to deal with technical climate information than they did 10 years ago. There's a whole set of capacity there that wasn't there. On the more concerning side, the structures that were there to help them do that are now gone. So UK SIP is gone, and the training that they offered and provided. What is interesting is that one of the things in the survey that came out was the local authorities do feel that they are responsible for taking adaptation measures, and it's not something that can be pushed off to central government, although they feel that central government will incentivises or enables them to actually do this. But there are a whole set of challenges left around this. The obvious one is financial difficulties, which then squeezes your staff, your resources, and effectively in the organisation itself deprioritises what adaptation means and why we should be doing it. Those who try to stop it being deprioritised are changing the way that they frame climate change within that organisation. So they'll use different language, they'll change the way they talk to particular politicians, and there's a whole set of other things that can connect in with that. Now, also, which is, and you should always be cautious when you hear somebody say, I love a target. But one of the things they say is that whether you like the national indicator or not, it kind of created an emphasis to do something. So whether it was doing the right thing is another question. Whether it was fit for purpose, and I spoke to the person who actually wrote the national indicator, he would argue it wasn't. They felt it was very important because it meant that they could actually have a case that would push people in their direction. And of course, there's lots of differences in the regions, and I haven't really got time to go through all of that. But yeah, I'll leave it there.
You might have said that. Did you just ask about authority?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. Oh no, it's just Great Britain.
Okay.
Sorry, there's a slight difference because we don't include Northern Ireland, and that's purely to navigate to. It's 407 local authorities in Great Britain at the moment. I'm sure that will be soon by
And also, the relation that they are to citizens or housing associations or their housing?
So some local authorities do have own housing. That's absolutely right, yes, and they're probably one of the largest housing stock owners, I imagine. But the people we were speaking to were people based in what we consider sort of the environmental departments within those local authorities. So they would be the people kind of liaising with transport, green space, planning, flood risk. So they wouldn't necessarily connect in with the housing officer in the local authority, but they would be involved in writing the corporate plan, which would hopefully feed into that process. No.
Just have to reinforce what James has been saying. We work with Strand side, on project mentioned earlier. The thing that's a bit scary is that we spoke to a lot of people in local authorities. Some of them high capacity, some of them medium, which would mean they're not doing anything about the future. They could cope with problems, risks, and what they're saying is that national indicators pushed up capacity. That's now eroding because the 5 people are now half of this. And as capacity is going down, all the high capacity organisations are saying our capacity is going because the medium capacity organisations choose to work through their capacity is collapsing. So the general opinion that the kind of pilot capacity is collapsing. And that 2 years out of the future it's going to be far lower than it is now. So it's quite disturbing, I think, the intelligence system of what you said, including high capacity organisations take most of their time, a lot of their time, interpreting the UK CPM line for low capacity organisations, because there's no way that they can use it themselves.
That's exactly it. And in the building industry, that's what CBIS have been doing. So they've been linking up with other research projects, especially ones that come out with the APS PRC, to actually how do we make this usable for those particular users. In the building industry, what's concerning is that a lot of the information you need to be able to design properties is not provided by projections. It's just, you need things like wind speed, you need certain aspects about daylight. Those things are not included in those projections. Now, that's not a criticism of the projections themselves, but it is a criticism of the process of, well, we wanted to engage users so we could provide them with a product that they could use, but actually in that process you kind of said we're not interested in these particular people, and they have the longest impact on the environment.